All right, a pleasant good morning to you from Tony'sPicks.com. This is Ramon Scott, and welcome to Night Moves here for Friday, February 20th. We've got a nice Friday night NBA card and some light college action, but a few nice games to go over as well here as we head into a great sports weekend. Have finishing up the Olympics here this weekend with some big events, obviously, coming down during the next couple of nights, and then also UFC on Saturday from Houston with a great main event this week with middleweights getting ready to go here in Houston with Sean Strickland, no fan of the NFL, up against Anthony Fluffy Hernandez on Saturday night in Houston in a main event. Not necessarily closely rated with Fluffy, a pretty big favorite in that one over the veteran Strickland there. Both kind of veterans, certainly. Fluffy's won 8 in a row right now in the UFC. So we'll have a UFC card on Saturday for sure. And pretty good night over at Tony's Picks. We'll go over the website in just a moment, take a look, see what's going on over there. But a little bit of recap here. And thanks to Justin, I'll be flying solo here, it looks like tonight. But man, Justin did us a solid. One thing I said about the return of the NBA, I think the Mr. Under here, I think we're gonna see some higher scores. No, where there were not higher scores. There were a few late ones that did go kind of over. There were some overs for sure, but it did feel like Under City. It got me adjusting my ratings real quick here as far as my usual totals are concerned. We did strike gold here with some winners on the show thanks to Justin there last night. He brought us home the Cavs, didn't he? Sure did. Yesterday the Cavs over Brooklyn. He said they were going to crush them, and they did there as well. And also I had a winner here on Night Moves last night with Houston and Charlotte. Under in that one. Also brought home winners here on the show last night with Phoenix and San Antonio game to go under there as well. How about Justin? He brought it home big time with Toronto as they pulled away from Chicago late, and the woes just continue for Toronto there. And also brought home some late winners as well, including Justin bringing home Boston. Hey, I liked it so good. I went Boston on a premium. I don't know if you could tell last night when I was talking with Justin, and he was going with Boston, of course, and I went with the total, didn't hit it, but I was liking what he was saying about the Celtics, and they put it down on the Warriors there. Like I said, watch out for Boston once they get. Although there was another statement today said from Tatum, kind of dialed it back a little bit on his return, but I don't know. It feels like he might make the return. And a couple late games here. Hey, I had the winner last night, and Justin did as well. Magic and the Kings. Justin said take the Magic minus the points. I said go under in that one, and we did hit that one there, doubled up. Justin and I with Magic and under, and then Nuggets and Clippers. We were having an issue there last night with the game stopped with that shoving incident in the fourth quarter. What a finish there! Clippers get the win there with that game. Hey, Justin gave it to us there last night. Clippers plus the points. I said go over. Even in a Clippers game, we hit that one as well together. There, and the Clippers got the win. Ben Matter, the Clippers are putting together a pretty good lineup. The deals that they made, I mean, they're not even healthy. They look pretty good here right now, comparatively to some of the tanking teams that are in the league as well. So LA wins again. 21st time in 28 games right now. They'll take on the Clippers here. We'll preview that one in just a few moments. So all right, and did want to talk about the tanking ruling there. We heard Adam Silver, he's prepared to address issues with draft change rules. One of just several ideas, including an unweighted lottery that would go back, a throwback a little bit, where other teams might have a greater chance to get in there. Maybe even a one ping pong ball event. That's what it was in the beginning. And then we got all bent out of shape, but you could do it a little bit less. But I think when you're assuring top 3 teams the same percentage, that might be deflecting a little bit from the true weighting of the balls there. I mean, still, some teams are going to finish in last. How about a 2-year rollover rating, right? I mean, you have to basically tank for 2 years to get the top pick. You add the records up from 2 years, and then you seed them backwards with the number of ping pong balls in there. That way you're looking at a 2-year sample size, which is probably more indicative anyways. That's how they kind of do it in some high school leagues. You go with a 2-year rolling average on some of those. You could have them protecting only picks 1 through 4. And we know that there's pick protection in there right now. And also you could ban teams maybe from getting a top pick in consecutive years. These are some of the ideas that were being thrown around, maybe even expanding the lottery field there as well. So we'll see what the NBA wants to do with their little problem there right now. And the Suns owner called out all the rest of the owners that are tanking losers. That's coming from the horse's mouth there, I think. There. So good night in the NBA. We'll preview the games here coming up on Friday, and it's a pretty good card there. But just to note, we did have a winner there with the Boston Celtics. I did anyway over at Tony'sPicks.com. A great night of college basketball on Thursday as well, with some great results, interesting results here. On Thursday, Marshall and App State there. Talked about that game last night. And I was on the wrong end of that total for sure. But here's the way it looked to me, right? I mean, when I try to break it down, especially when I've got a high tempo team like Marshall and an App State team, which really is, near the bottom in tempo, kind of what will happen when those two type of teams meet. I was like, doesn't it kind of favor the low tempo? No, it was just the opposite. It was final score 94-93 Marshall, another comeback. App State led by 13 left. They scored 187. Just to note, right? App State basically in the bottom, 5 or 10 teams in tempo, and they were able to have, there was only 66 possessions in the game, but ended up being a very high-scoring game there with those two teams at 94-93. So Marshall shot 67% inside, basically. I mean, two out of every 3 shots down low, and were extremely efficient points per play in the game. And App State went to the foul line 40 times. There were 61 free throw attempts in the game. So maybe there wasn't so much to it. Game of the night might have been Northridge over Santa Barbara. Hey, we got that one right on the show last night with the over in that one, 85-83 Matadors. UCSB led by 5 with 30 seconds to go in the game. Northridge forced overtime. They've won 6 in a row, and they're 10-5 in the Big West. Great job by Northridge. Texas State over South Alabama, another overtime game. This one went double overtime with Texas State winning at 90-82. Texas State's bench outscored the Jaguars' bench 45-6. I guess that's where that game maybe had been decided. Campbell beat William and Mary there at 84-83. I took a loss here on that one over at Tony's Picks, but it was my only loss of the night as I went 7-1 with my premium picks here at Tony's on Thursday, and my only loss was this one. William and Mary. I had William and Mary in that one -2. They lost the game 84-83. The Camels actually won the game with a runner at the buzzer for the win. William and Mary led by 10 late in the first half. But Jeremiah Johnson, 32 points in the game. Campbell, though, wins for the 4th time in 5 games. It gave me my only loss of the day over there. Tulane over North Texas, 77-71. North Texas led by 15. This is a repeat every night, isn't it? When I go over these games, the comebacks every single night. The other team, you should sit there and just pick off these games at halftime or something, right? You could be betting these these teams that are trailing as the Green Wave come back to win 77-71 there in that one. Weber State over Montana State 82-79, another close one. I got home here with Weber in overtime as a premium pick, but I thought they played pretty well in getting that win. Weber State bench outscored Montana State's bench 34-17. Montana State, they were really knocking them down inside, but Weber State got the win. I got the premium yesterday here at Tony's. Also, Little Rock in a good one over Tennessee Martin, 67-65. I only mentioned it because the Skyhawks led by 6 with 2:50 left in the game for another comeback win. Let me go over to the website and take a look at Tony'sPicks.com. Say hello to everybody in the chat here as well, real quick, as we get going for our show here for Friday, February 20th. Hello to the chat pros here with, hey, there's the West Up Parlay. Nice to have the West Up Parlay there with today. Take a look at it right now. Ball State, BCU, Marist, Green Bay, Indiana, and Mount St. Mary's and Niagara over. Thank you to the West Up Parlay there. And Mr. Weskers noted that I had been on another show yesterday morning and just said, take Alyssa Liu. I guess we could go over the big Olympic results here real quick, since Mr. Weskers mentioned that I was on another show and said, hey, Alyssa Liu is 7-2. How do you not take Alyssa Liu to win the gold medal if you're an American out there? She became the first American skater in 24 years to have to win the gold medal at the Olympic Games. You think of some of the greats in figure skating. Especially myself, a little bit younger, not dating back all the way, but from Dorothy Hamill, Tara Lipinski, obviously, Yamaguchi as well. But Alyssa Liu adds her name to the greats on the women's figure skating there. And, remember when Dorothy Hamill won and everybody got their hair a little bob cut? I don't know what they called it. Maybe everyone's going to go now with the Alyssa Liu two-tone. I might do it even after that. Great day at the Olympics there yesterday. I'm sorry we don't have any premiums over here. I've had a great Olympics. I know that for sure. And Mr. Wesker says Mr. Adam Silver's talking a lot of garbage with his rules there, but they'll do something. Will it be the right thing? Whatever happened to just giving the worst team? It's hard enough to get the worst. I mean, what are they all going to do? Just start losing in a race to the bottom, and you're still going to end up short? One other suggestion I didn't mention in there was that maybe the cutoff would be the trade deadline or the All-Star break or a little bit of a date somewhere about right now. Cut it off right there, say that's the bottom team, and then play the rest of the games. But who knows what they'll do? Cal Dog had all NJIT. And interesting, though, Mr. West was talking about Adam Silver, but he was kind of the first commissioner to kind of adopt sports betting, with his, embracing, said betting is here to stay. There's nothing we can do about it. And Timmy Two Shoes, he's ready for the action there in U.S. hockey tomorrow. Canada and Finland, U.S. and Slovakia in the semifinals tomorrow. We should mention the lead story, probably. Well, Alyssa Liu, I think, but United States over Canada in women's action. What a thriller today! 2-1 as the Americans won it. Heartbreak for Canada. The Americans were so dumb. They didn't cover. The United States did not cover in that game. Canada was terrific. The U.S. goaltender, she was terrific for sure, as the U.S. wins it in women's hockey there. They came from behind. Remember, it was 1-0, but Hillary Knight scored the tying goal. 2 minutes left in the third period for the USA. Then Megan Keller, which will be, what are they saying? Hang it in the Louvre. The overhead shot with the puck going in, and Keller beginning her celebration, leaving the defender in the dust there. And it was Ariane Frankel, 30 saves, including 2-on-1 breaks in the zone in overtime a couple of times. And she was stellar in that game. So, and men's semifinals here today with Canada taking on Finland. and United States taking on Slovakia. It's Canada, Finland first at 10:40 a.m. Eastern, 7:40 Pacific. Canada, $4 favorite, total 5.5 under 15, followed by the United States and Slovakia. The U.S. minus 1,000 there, total 5.5 over at minus 140. Should be awesome there in men's hockey. Get ready for the gold medal game as well on Sunday. All right. Hopefully that's good for everyone there. Let's see if we got any other folks here in the chat with me. All right. You guys ready to go, I think, there with some of the hockey here on Friday. That's going to be great. All right, I think that kind of covers some of the news and headlines there. I'm going to go over to Tony'sPicks.com and take a look at those handicapper leaderboards and see who's hot. I know who's hot, and there's a couple other guys who are pretty hot here. Want to shout them out. Let's go over to Tony'sPicks.com. Get ready for a big sports betting Friday here. Make sure I bring it up here on screen. There we go. Yes, there we go. I'm on top. Let me be on top of the handicapper leaderboards for once here with a 7-1 day here. Other winners for me included. Let me go to my tote here and take one victory lap at least for this week. With this 7-1 day, what do we have here? We had the Celtics there. Thanks to Justin for that one, but I was going with Boston no matter what there. That one for sure. I had Weber State there as mentioned. Also, UT Arlington against Utah Tech. I kind of talked about Utah Tech there a little bit, right? Stuck in the middle, but at home they're pretty good. The road's a little tougher for them. Arlington with the cover there. Also, I had the over in Kansas City and North Dakota, taking a lot of overs in those Summit League games. There's the loser. William and Mary lost by a point, but I had over with Samford and Citadel, and I also had the over with Wagner and Mercyhurst, and I started the day with a win there with Rublev over Tsitsipas in some tennis action. Tennis winding down here this week. Also golf underway. We mentioned the golf plays. I want to scratch all my golf plays, but I don't know. The conditions were very, very tough out there in the opening round at the Genesis. Aaron Rai was on the 17th hole when darkness came in. The play was suspended by hard, cold rain in Southern California. Rory McIlroy was at -5 in the clubhouse. Ryan Fox 4 under, Morikawa 3 under. Scotty Scheffler, I think he's still on the course. He might have actually drowned on the 10th whole bunker in there. Hey, you're never going to get another chance. Now, if anything, I would say that Scotty Scheffler's odds are not sufficient enough to play him here. But if you ever going to play Scotty Scheffler, and Bill, I think, did he get out of last place? I'm not sure he did. But if you ever wanted to play Scotty Scheffler at 25-1 or 22-1 or whatever it is, here's your opportunity right now to take Scotty. Here as he is dead last right now at the Genesis Invitational. Let me see. I think he did get out of last, actually, by the time they took him off the course, didn't they? No. Oh, he's tied for last with one of my guys, Keegan Bradley. So, look, if you think Scotty Scheffler can make up 11 strokes and win, like I said, he's already done this, not come back, but the last two events where he's basically had a terrible first round, it's even worse this time. He's come back to, basically get second place, third place here in a couple of these tournaments. Could he do it again? Once the conditions hopefully dry out tomorrow, I'm sure Scotty will get it going. He was not having a good time out there today, but he is 22-1, 25-1 at some other books, I think, right now, if you want to. Despite being in last place in the 72-man field, he's only the ninth choice in the betting. So maybe that's not good enough for you, but you can't get much better odds on Scotty Scheffler to win. So, you can think about it. All right. So, all right. Anyways, head on over to Tony'sPicks.com. Get our premium picks over there. Click on the All Cappers tab. That's how you'll find the handicapper of your choice. Click on their handicapper profile page, and that's how you get signed up. Click on me right there, just like that, and get a 3-day pass right now. This is what you're going to want to do when I'm heating up. You're going to want to be with me here this weekend. Get it for $99. You're going to get 3 days of action with me, Friday, Saturday, Sunday here in the major sports, especially college basketball on Saturday, where I did go 6-1 here tonight. So check me out, 6-1 here tonight. So check me out over at Tony'sPicks.com. Let me acknowledge the other handicappers there from the handicapper leaderboards, please. I want to thank and welcome to Tom Raygard, who's been doing a nice job since joining Tony's Picks here, and he went 6-3 on Thursday. Thank you. Good job, Tom, and welcome to Tony's Picks. Nick Lagaretto's 5-2 up there. Chris Atkins 2-0. VIP account 2-0. Ron Hahn 2-0. David Racy 4-2. Al Ninos won his only premium play. Vegas Al, his show precedes mine here. Make sure you check him out every day here on the Tony's Picks YouTube channel. Went 2-1 there. Brian Bittler 2-1. Shane Mickle 2-1 on Thursday. Over the last 7 days. Look at Al Ninos. He's 7-1, and a winner a day. Al down there, and he'll be holding season tickets to the new Tropicana, the old Trop. But I saw the Trops ready to go. They did say they'll probably be putting some finishing touches by the time, even with opening day. They might still be working on it, but it's ready to go. We're ready to resume play in the Trop here with the Rays. Brian Bittler 12-7 last 7 days. Damian Sosh 13-8. Mills Young 9-5. I know Mills will be ready to go with our MMA card here this weekend. David Racy up there, up over 3 units. Ron Crawford as well, up 2.5 units over last week. Tony T up 2 units as well. A couple other guys in the green here last 7 days. Last 30 days, Stephen Duncan ready to go with the NHL resuming hopefully here soon. Get through these Olympics. He's up 23 3/4 units. Nick Lagaretto's up 20 units right now. Joey Tron's done a nice job here, 9.5 units. I'm up there, up 6 units over the last month. And there's Stax McKelvey right behind me at 3 3/4 units. Stick us together there. And the 2-for-1 capper promotion. There's Vegas Sal as well up there, and the rest of the team over at Tony's Picks. All right, use that promo code Tony T at checkout. That'll save you 15% off all premium pick packages, including mine here on Friday. All right, we're going to get to it here right now and get ready for the action here on Night Moves. We got our previews of the games here ready to go in the NBA. A nice 9-game card here today, as well as college basketball. I'll preview 5 games here tonight. There's also tomorrow great tennis action overnight. I'll probably find a play or two. I got 4 matches I'm kind of looking at here overnight, and also still to come here, soccer action, major leagues in action here in Europe. The game of the Friday fixtures here, Verona and Sassuolo, Elchen Athletic there. Also Hamburg and Mainz, and Marseille and Brest. Friday fixtures over in Europe. Cover them here at Tony'sPicks.com. All right, I'll say a few more comments here with the chat. I think we can get ready to go here with the show and see if you guys had some more comments for me. Let's see here. Nexus says the Celtics would come through because the Warriors were a fake sharp play there. Who were those Warriors, says Mr. Weskers. Who were those guys right now? Who are they playing out there? All right, let's get going. Get ready. Hey, your comments are welcome in the chat. I like to flash them there on the screen when you guys comment, and get your plays out there as well, part of the chat pros here. People might be here for some of my picks or maybe just my analysis, and then they like to know what else is up with the chat pros and get the pulse of the sports betting public. So please enter your comments and plays in the chat with each game previewed. Okay, I'm ready. Hopefully you are as well. Let's start it off here for Friday, and we'll start with the Utah Jazz on the road taking on the Memphis Grizzlies here. Well, this ain't a great game to start things off, but nonetheless, a pretty good way to go here with Utah, winners of 2 of their last 3 coming in as they resume play here in the second half. They did beat Miami and Sacramento, but then lost to Portland before the break. For Memphis here, they're on 4 straight losses here right now, but they did cover in 3 of the last 3 as an underdog in all those games. Memphis has been an okay favorite this year, 10-8 ATS, but Utah's been terrific for the most part, at least getting the number. This is just a little bit thin here at 2.5. Total here 238. I had mentioned yesterday about how I thought that we'd see not a lot of points here, but I don't know about this one. Now, these 2 teams played in December. It was 137 to 128, and they also met a couple weeks earlier than that, and it was 130 to 126. So both meetings have been well over the total. This one is down here a little bit, and I think has actually moved down from the opener here a little bit. I think it's a little bit high. I know that this game is not going to feature much defense compared to what we've seen in some of the games so far. Yeah, this one, the send-out was as high as 242.5. We've only seen this one kind of move lower here, it feels like right now. For the Utah Jazz here coming into this one, they've gone 6-1 against the spread their last 7 games, despite the fact they've lost 13 of their last 17. Utah has covered 9 of the last 13 meetings between these 2 teams overall, but they've lost 6 of the last 7 to the Memphis Grizzlies. Memphis has still covered 5 of their last 6. No matter how you look at it, they've been getting the money despite going just 2-10 straight up in their last 12 games. Memphis has gone over in 6 of their last 7. 15 of the last 20 meetings between these 2 teams have gone over. Oh, man, this is a high total, though. And after what I saw in some of the games yesterday, I think I want to go under, but let me see if you guys have something here in the chat. Maybe I could be talked into a little something here with Utah and Memphis. Right now for Utah, they come in here with Markkanen probable in this game. Now, Nurkic, he is out. Keontae George is out as well here for Memphis. However, they've got a laundry list of injuries here coming in. Clayton is doubtful. Pippen is out. Jerome is out. KCP out. Coward out. Aldama is out. Ja Morant still out, of course. I mean, you're missing plenty of pieces here right now for the Memphis Grizzlies. Let's see what we have in the chat with this one. And we're going to start it off with, I think Timmy Two Shoes going with the over, but Cal Dog's going with the under. And let's see here. Utah hasn't learned a lesson. Hey, there's Zach Sanders in the chat today. Nice to have Zach here. He likes the Lakers in that game tomorrow with the Clips. Thank you, Zach. Really appreciate you being a member of the Chat Pros tonight. All right, Timmy says, I saw somebody's model and it said over. Man, I don't know about that. Okay, well, man, a little bit. I'm going to take the Utah Jazz here. I think look, they're the better cover to me. Memphis has a plenty of issues here. Who is going to play for Memphis? What is their lineup even going to look like here on Friday? That's what I'm curious about. I want to take a peek at this, see what we're dealing with here. Oh my goodness. Okay, we're going to have Jemai Meshack in there in this one. We're also going to have a little bit of Gigi Jackson, of course. Got to have Gigi in there, Kyle Anderson, Jalen Wells. I don't know who else is going to be. Who is going to play point guard for the Memphis Grizzlies tomorrow? Any suggestions? Give me the Jazz here in this one on the road. Yeah, this is Jazz. Look, they are a dog here. They're 26-23 as a dog, 15-12 against the spread on the road. Memphis 11-15 against the spread at home. Maybe it's enough to get involved with Memphis at a low number here. But Mr. Westwood says, who is Utah playing? Well, I think they'll have, I'm showing here to be Filipowski, Ace Bailey, Sensabaugh in there. Collier, although, Collier should dominate. Let's see who's going to defend Collier here in that game. So, man, this is a great game, isn't it? Let's move on. Jeez. All right. Did we pick every game here? Like I said, I probably should have stuck with the total. All right. Let's keep it going here right now for the action on Friday night. And oh boy. Okay. Well, is it baseball season yet? So we can get rid of some of these games. It is baseball season here. We're going to open up the preseason on Friday. So, but here's another clunker right away with Indiana taking on Washington, and well, Indiana's a road favorite because why not? Like I said, with these games, these are the ones to me where if you can't win these type of games at home, then what games are you going to win? And actually, Washington has come through in these type of situations. Now, these two teams, of course, just met there last night, so they're playing the back-to-backers there. Washington did win it 112-105 as a 2.5-point dog in that one. The total was 233 yesterday. It did go well under here, and could Indiana sum it up enough to give a little instant revenge here in this matchup? I mean, we talked about the game right with Justin last night. We actually got it right here with the under. Or I had the under here yesterday. In that, or no, what it was? Oh no, I had the over. Sorry about that, gang. Let me make the pick again. Maybe I'll get it right this time. Let me hear from you guys in the chat here before I stick my foot in my mouth with this one. Let's go over it here with Indiana on the road. They've lost 5 of their last 7 overall. They are 6-2 in their last 8 games against Washington, but just 2-4 against the spread in their last 6 against the Wizards. Indiana's 2-4 ATS in their last 6, but so is Washington. Washington's gone over in 6 of their last 8. 4 of the last 5 meetings between these two teams have gone under. 4 straight actually have gone under here between these two teams. So why wouldn't it go under again in this one? I'm going to go with the under here with Indiana in Washington here. Yesterday, 217 points. They also met back in December. Only 197 points were scored in that one. And they also met in their first meeting in November, and there was 214 points scored in that one. So I'm going to take the under here in this one. Let's see if you guys have it in the chat today with this great game. Hello to Tim in the chat. There's Tim M. Great to have him in here. All right, let's see here. Under again, says Cal Dog. And why not throw the Wizards in a parlay again, right? I mean, what's the worst thing that could happen? All right. Oh, man, I hope there's some better games after this. All right. Hey, this is a good game, right? I mean, the Hornets, you got to consider them legit here at this point. I mean, I'm not talking about going very far, but the turnaround that they've had now, LaMelo, I knew that LaMelo, it looked like in that video, LaMelo was in the wrong. Do you guys agree? It looked like LaMelo was either I don't think he was making a left turn there. I think he just drifted into the guy's lane. Now, the guy obviously, was he making a left turn yield there, and LaMelo maybe drifted in? They said, though, I believe that LaMelo is actually facing the charges after going left of center, causing that near, T-bone crash if the guy he hadn't turned yet. But I think it was LaMelo's fault there. I'm no traffic analyst, but maybe LaMelo had his dash cam on. He could get out of it. Okay, let's get to the business here at hand. I mean, look, Cleveland has a terrific record, but look, Charlotte got the money last night in that game. Now, I know that we were on here with Justin yesterday talking about the game, and Justin, look, I'm not saying just because it landed almost on the number, okay? So it was a coin flip the way it came down at the end there. Final score in the game was 105-101. The sharp books actually landed on 4, but most of the books were 4.5 there yesterday. So I think, though, when we were on the air, we were talking 4 here. So anyway, I did have the under there in that one with Charlotte and Cleveland. Look, it's hard to deny Charlotte getting the money there. look, even if they did, if you want to call it, I think they did get the money, but they've just been so solid getting the number here this year. 34 and 22 against the spread overall, 25 and 16 as an underdog, and Cleveland is 17 and 27 against the spread as a favorite. Although they have covered 8 of their last 10, as they kind of continue to roll here a little bit. Did a nice job yesterday there against the Nets. Look, Justin told us yesterday that the Nets were going to give up, points to these guys. Now, it was only 124 because the Nets couldn't get anything going, but nonetheless, Cleveland did the job. Now, Cleveland is 6-1 against the spread in their last 7 games against Charlotte, but just 1-4 against the spread. What does it mean? It means they're always favored, but they never cover. And seeing how close last night's game was, they're both teams on a back-to-back here. There's no real advantage other than the fact that Charlotte is still at home, and Cleveland comes in here traveling after playing a home game. So I think there's a little bit more wear on Cleveland here. We know they're the better team right now. They just got Mobley back. Yeah, he only played 19 minutes, but look, you're going to ease him back in to the lineup here for sure. Cleveland, got the money, and they're on fire right now, knocking everybody out and covering here impressively. We've been picking on them all year because they're so sub 500, 24 and 32 against the spread overall. However, they are 13 and 13 against the spread on the road. But Charlotte has all these great numbers here. They've also won 10 of their last 12 games. Very impressive, covering 6 of their last 7 overall. Charlotte's gone under in 6 of 7 here, and 4 of the last 5 meetings between these two teams have gone under. Charlotte is 14 and 27 to the under as an underdog, and 8 and 19 to the under at home. I got to go under here in this one with Cleveland and Charlotte here on Night Moves. I'm going to go under for sure in this one, and a big number here at 233. Pardon me, give me the under here with these two. Let's see how you guys have it here in the chat. I just think, Cleveland's surge is pretty strong here of late, but man, again, you have Cleveland doesn't get the money, Charlotte always does. All right, let's go to the chat. Here we go with Cal Dog is on the Caps to keep it rolling. Can the Hornets keep the Caps working? Got to keep those starters on the floor. There's Zach Sanders. He's got the Cavs to roll in this one. He says, book that one. Mr. Wesker's on the Cavs. Obviously, the chat is on the Cavs. All right. Yeah, Timmy, I don't know. I think LaMelo, look, they've got insurance. Insurance will probably pay. I'm sure that he's already paying, LaMelo, his guy's going to get his car fixed there. May get a new car out of it. All right. And I think that's it from you guys in this one. So I'm going to take the under here in this one, but I think you get the drift here where I'm going. I don't know. I'm not going to deny the chat, though. They're obviously on Cleveland here. Okay, Mavs and Timberwolves here in this one on Friday. Look, the Mavs are in that group of teams that actually are, well back and not playing very well, but it just seems like there's more, a little more interest around them with Flag still, pretty solid here right now. Yes, the Wolves here are coasting, right? Or not coasting, but they've won 2 in a row right now, 34 and 22 record. They're, well better in the win column here than the Dallas Mavericks, obviously, here right now. But like I said, Dallas has been able to get the money a few times before the first half until they've gone into this miserable string where they're just now all of a sudden they can't get anything done. This dismal swing here right now is now up to 9 straight losses. They've failed to cover here in 5 straight. They're 8 and 16 against the spread on the road, but still 19 and 19 against the spread as an underdog. Amazingly, they've been favored in 16 games this year. For Minnesota here, 19 and 26 against the spread as a favorite, 13 and 16 against the spread at home. So to me, I know it's kind of strange. It doesn't feel like Dallas is a team that's kind of stopped trying there a little bit. I feel like out of all these tankable teams, it feels like Dallas plays hard, but maybe they just get too much respect because of Blag. Maybe that's why they fall short of all their numbers. They're just 2-13 against the spread in their last 15 games on the road. Also lost 4 of the last 5 meetings to Minnesota. Minnesota's won 7 of their last 10, but just 2-4 against the spread in their last 6 games. Minnesota's gone over in 6 of their last 8 overall, but they're 10-19 to the under at home, and Dallas is 10-14 to the under on the road. So I'm going to go with the under because I'm scared here. I kind of want to try to find a way to take Dallas here with all these points. Like I said, it feels like they try hard and they usually are just not getting enough points. Now they did fail against San Antonio recently, getting 11.5 and lost by 13. So probably be pretty close to the number. I don't know. Let's see what you guys have in this one. And I'm watching Lou with this celebration. Wasn't she very joyful with that other skater, even though she won a medal? And then, she gave her a nice hug too. Okay, let's see what you guys have in this one before I cry, before I get in the kiss and cry area. Okay, here we go with Mr. Weskers likes the Wolves against the spread here. Cal Dog is on the under here with me. I'll take the under. Mavs, no offense, no defense, weirdo coach, and that's Mr. Weskers for you. I think he sums it up. I think it's right on. Okay, Timberwolves would have to score 147 to get up to that number, right? What's it going to be, 147-90 tomorrow? Cal Dog says maybe the Wolves in the first half can take this number there. All right. Yeah, like I said, I wanted to go under in those games yesterday. I definitely had a few losers on the show going under, but there were no doubt some scoring going on there early in the games here, but I'm back on some unders here. Okay, let's keep it moving here right now with the Heat taking on the Hawks. NBA action here for Friday with Miami coming in here 29-27. The Hawks are 27-30. We're starting to get into the business of where do we stand, right? In the playoff hunt here, you have the Heat in 8th place currently. You have the Hawks in 9th place here right now. So, yeah, this one's a pretty important game for these two teams. For the Hawks right now, they come in here off of win last night impressively over Philadelphia, 117-107. Nice job by the Hawks there in that one. For Miami here, they did not play last night, so they come in here a little bit rested here with this one. Normie Powell is questionable here, but Wiggins is probable, Smith is probable, Larson is probable, Hero is probable coming into this one for the Heat. So pretty healthy here, it feels like right now. That was an impressive game there by Atlanta yesterday. Maybe they're building something here right now, but the Heat are still one of the best money-making teams in the league, especially on the road where they're 18-10 against the spread, and the Hawks are 9-16 at home against the spread, although they are 19-14 against the spread as a dog here. Just that overall Miami continues to be pretty impressive here at 32-23 against the spread overall. They did cover on their last game before the break over New Orleans in a road win. Atlanta was slumping there a little bit before they broke out there with that win over Philadelphia there last night. So see what you have here with this one as these two teams get ready to go here on Friday night. Got Atlanta here 11-14 to the under at home here right now, but for Miami, they've gone under in 4 of their last 6, and Atlanta's gone over in 4 of their last 5. Atlanta's just 3-6 against the spread the last 9 meetings against Miami. Miami's actually won 4 of the last 5 between the two teams, and also 4-1 ATS against Atlanta in the last 5 games. They did meet back on February 3rd. Atlanta won at 127-115. A December meeting was won by Miami here in Atlanta, 126-111. I'm going to try the Heat here in this one as a road favorite Over Atlanta here, Heat are rested into this one. The Hawks played last night. I feel a little bit contrarian here. Let me just see what you guys have in the chat. I'm going to take the Heat, especially if they don't win. Okay, let's see the chats here. Mr. Wesker's going to ride with me with the Heat. Cal Dog's no fan of the Hawks here, but Timmy's going to take the points. Maybe it is a trap. I don't know. Maybe I'm overrating the Heat here. Heat money line for Cal Dog. And Timmy Chushu's the Heat will be torching Atlanta here. Okay, I thought maybe I was looking for attention here, taking the Heat on the road after the Hawks looked so good last night. And look, these teams are, pretty well balanced here, especially you figure the Hawks at home, even though they had the worst overall record between the two. Okay, let's move on to the next one here now with the Bucks are taking on the Pelicans here with the Pelicans. They're still breathing here right now, but they're in 11th place, actually, about 4.5 games back, I think, of the 8th spot coming into this one. But the Bucks are coming in off of a pair of wins here. This is their first game out of the break, but they beat Orlando and OKC in their last 2 games. I dare to say the Bucks actually, the lineup they're putting out there isn't awful compared to what you might think, or anyway. I mean, no Giannis here. Miles Turner is out of this one as well, but for the Pelicans here, Murphy is doubtful. PB is out. Misi is out as well for the Pelicans. Pelicans favored here by 4.5. They're coming in off of a loss to the Heat before the break. The Pelicans are 6-2 against the spread as a favorite. Here, they're also 16-12 against the spread at home. Milwaukee 13-16 against the spread on the road. So, look, kind of looking for Pelican spots here. Feels like a little bit. Pelicans are just 2-4 straight up and against the spread in their last 6. Milwaukee's dominated this series, having won 7 of the last 8 meetings between the two teams, and they've gone 6-2 against the spread in their last 8 against New Orleans. Like I said, Bucks have actually coming in here having won 5 of their last 1 and covered 5 of their last 6 games. 16 of the last 19 meetings between these two teams have gone over, although New Orleans has gone under in 8 of their last 12 games. So, the Pelicans have already gone up from 3.5 to 4.5, kind of showing where that line move is going. Like I said, I think the Bucks actually throwing out a better than expected lineup, I guess is what I would call it here. Let's see what we've got in the chat. The Pelicans here for Mr. Weskers. And let's see, Timmy Two Shoes trying to get the Doc Rivers, get the Doc Rivers going here. Look, if Doc can't get these guys going, it just seemed like, for Rivers here, I don't know if it's necessarily, well, I have some jokes there, I guess. Okay, I'm going to go with the Pelicans here in this one, I think. I think you guys have got me on the Pelicans here just because of the Doc Rivers comments. I don't mean to make a joke of the last weeks of the NBA here, but maybe it's apropos. All right, give me the Pelicans. You guys are done in the chat with this one. And let's move on. This isn't the greatest Friday night card, I'm starting to realize here, but we don't want to talk like that. Hey, we got the Thunder here, favored by 17 points over Brooklyn. Here, it's already gone up. I think the opener was close to 15 or something like that. But, it's been interesting that Oklahoma City's kind of tumbled down here a little bit, not playing their best, obviously. They threw away that game against Milwaukee. This is the first time, I think, since their I don't know. I want to even compare it to the great start of this season, even back to last season, where maybe they've had a little bit of complacency for once. They have gone just 1-5 against the spread in their last 6 games at home. Brooklyn is just 2-5 though against the spread in their last 7 games against Oklahoma City. Brooklyn here just 2-5 against the spread in their last 7 overall. Brooklyn's gone over in 5 of their last 6. Oklahoma City's gone over in 4 of their last 5 games, and 7 of the last 10 meetings between the two teams have gone over. This is the first meeting of the season between the two teams here right now. Brooklyn is 11-16 to the under on the road. See how you guys have. This is pretty low total, but I tell you what, it's going to be pretty low scoring. And let's see how you have it in the chat. Jimmy Two Shoes likes Oklahoma City by 25. And Cal Dog does like the over here. Mr. Weskers will take Oklahoma City here in this one. And I think I will too. I'm going to go with OKC here in this one in a blowout over the Nets. Look, we just saw the Nets against Cleveland last night, and they got whooped. The Thunder here, look, they're not going to, I don't say take it for granted here that they've got an easy game. I mean, we know SGA is out of this game. Guard Jalen Williams questionable. AJ Mitchell questionable here. Carlson, their other center, he's questionable in this one. Nick Claxton still questionable here, but I'm going to go with the Thunder here still in this one and lay 17. These are some crazy games. All right. Here's one you guys were talking about last night. And, going to have the Clippers taking on the Lakers here in this one. Already saw comments in the chat on the Lakers in this game. I don't know. I mean, I'm like what I'm seeing from the Clippers here right now. I'm probably just going to take the Clippers on the money line, to be honest. But let me break it down here as far as this game is concerned. Clippers come in here off of the win last night over Denver. What a thriller there it was. Clippers and Denver, they really got into a big-time shootout there in the fourth quarter, didn't they? It was back and forth there late. I think there were 74 points scored there in the fourth quarter. Clippers have covered 4 straight coming in. Lakers come in off of a win and cover over Dallas, but they actually did not play yesterday, so they'll be rested here at home against their cross-town rivals, cross-city rivals there for the Lakers. 21-11 against the spread as a favorite, but the Clippers are 17-12 against the spread as an underdog. Clippers here have won 4 of their last 5, covered 4 of their last 5. They're just 2-4 against the spread, their last 6 against the Lakers. These two teams met back in January. It was 112-104. Clippers won at home as a 2.5-point favorite. Clippers also won at home in December by 18 points as a 1.5-point dog. Lakers won at home in late November, 135-118 as a 6.5-point favorite, which they are here tonight. The total in that one was 227 on that night, and it went well over when they played at the Crypto. Let's see how you guys have this one. Lakers and Clippers have gone under in 5 of their last 6 meetings. Lakers have gone under in 4 of their last 6 at home. Clippers have gone under in 4 of their last 6 overall, but the Lakers are 17-8 to the under at home. Let's see what you guys have in this one. And Cal Dogs on the Clippers. Mr. Wesker says this game looks like a disaster. I'm going to take the Clippers. I might even have them on the money line here in this one. Give me the Clippers right now. I think I like the momentum of my Clippers. One final game in the NBA tonight with the Nuggets taking on the Trailblazers here. Nuggets coming in 35-21. They lost the game last night to the Clippers there, of course, and they were favored in that one. Portland, meanwhile, playing well again here, heading into the break. They had won, 4 of their last 5 overall, although just 3-6 against the spread in their last 9. Portland 6-3 against the spread against the Nuggets in the last 9 games overall. Denver just 1-4 against the spread in their last 5, 2-5 straight up in their last 7. Is it a trap, you might ask, here with the Portland getting just 2.5 from Denver? not really much of an injury report for the Nuggets as far as short-term injuries are concerned. Avia is probable for the Blazers here. Robert Williams is questionable. Sharp is out here in this one. I've got the Portland Trailblazers in this game. I don't think it's Tarp. I think this is the spot for Portland here tonight. I'm going to take the Trailblazers at home to defeat the Nuggets in this one. Nuggets are 20-10 to the over on the road, 25-11 to the over as a favorite. Portland 18-11 to the over at home, although they are 14-20 to the under as a dog. That's for a team that is 17-5 to the over when they are favored. So usually Blazers underdog, it goes under, but everything else points to an over with these two teams overall. Denver's gone over in 7 of their last 9. Portland's gone over in 7 straight, and 6 of the last 7 meetings between these two teams have gone over. It is 239 there. The last time these two teams met was an early season game, and Portland won at home here 109-107 as a 5.5-point dog. All right, let's see what we've got here. Hey, Zach Sanders lighted the Lakers on the money line in that game with Doncic ready to go. Cal Dog might be on the under here in this one. Timmy Two Shoes had a LeBron prop in that last game. Mr. Weskers, I agree. The Nuggets are just better, but I'm handicapping the spot. The human algorithm here. I'm taking Portland here tonight. All right, that's going to do it for the NBA. Thanks a lot, everybody, for those great comments and picks from the chat pros. We're going to go to college basketball here on Friday night, where I'm going to look at the 5 best games on a shortened Friday night card and take a look at some of the good games here in the individual small conference games here for sure, except we got one Big Ten game to look at. Let's get it going, though, here right now with our first game up, and it's going to be the Phoenix of Wisconsin Green Bay taking on the Oakland Golden Grizzlies. College basketball action here for Friday. Green Bay swirling in controversy here again with their controversial head coach, currently suspended for this game by making some comments to the media following a loss where he basically said, "What did I do?" But you must have done something there because you got ejected from the game. Anyway, look, it's been a good season, though. For Green Bay's definitely turned it around for Gottlieb here this season somewhat at 15-13. They actually weren't quite there over the last couple of years. Got Oakland here favored by 6, and the total at 155. Green Bay has gone 10-4 against the spread their last 14 games overall. They're 10-6 against the spread on the road, but Oakland is 9-6 against the spread as a favorite. They're also 6-0 straight up against Green Bay. Green Bay just 1-8 overall in the last 9 games against Oakland, but they've covered 8 of the last 12 meetings. So when they've been an underdog against Oakland, they've somehow gotten the money. First meeting was won by Oakland, however, 88-63. Oakland crushed them at Green Bay here. So look, they're not going to miss Gottlieb too much there on the sidelines in this game, but man, what's Green Bay going to do defensively against this team? I mean, that's really where they've struggled. They've got a terrible defense for sure. Good rebounding team for sure, but both these teams are pretty woeful defensively. I mean, Oakland is among the worst teams here for sure. Defensively right now, Oakland's gone over in 11 of their last 13 at home. I've got to go over this 155. Give me the over here with these two. Oakland 7-2 to the over at home here. So I'm going to take the over in this one with Green Bay and Oakland. I will say that first meeting only went for 151 points, but give me the over here with these two. All right, let's see here. Mr. West was going with Oakland against the spread. He thinks Green Bay is a public team here. Cal Dog wants Green Bay in this one. And Mr. Wesker says Green Bay did not. They got jobbed in that last game against Milwaukee with that. They lost at 75-72. There, they let things get away, but the problem was Green Bay really couldn't stop Milwaukee in the second half of that game. That's where I think they very poor defense here, and then this was going to happen here in this one. Oakland will get up there. Oakland's 0-3 straight up and against the spread. Their last 3 games coming in. Green Bay is actually 3-1 straight up and against the spread. Their last 4 overall. So, okay, I'm going to take the over. All right, I've got the BCU here taking on St. Louis. Oh, good one here with St. Louis favored in this one by 8. Total 165. St. Louis here coming in off of that loss last game against Rhode Island here, 81-76 on the road. They were 9.5-point favorites, kind of stopped their great run here right now. Look, they're still very strong here right now, especially in the conference play. No panic here for St. Louis right now. I think they can still ride here at the top of the Atlantic 10, but they lead VCU by just a half a game. They are an 8-point favorite here. This is the biggest game of the season in the A10 here tonight. The 2 teams already played their first meeting. St. Louis won on the road 71-62. They were actually a 1.5-point dog in that game, and well, they took it down for sure. They're in that one, but you're favored by 8 here against BCU. Comes in here on a roll right now with 10 straight wins for the Rams here right now, just rolling through conference play. They were 2-2 at one point with back-to-back losses against St. Louis and George Mason, to be fair, and then have now won 10 straight games into this big game here. So, look, I think VCU is going to bring it here and be able to hang with these guys, no matter how good St. Louis has been. Maybe it was a look ahead last game for St. Louis. Look, St. Louis has got one of the best interior defenses one of the best defenses, in the country for sure, defending. I mean, this number looks way high for me, even though, this is a great matchup. VCU comes in off of a win over George Washington, 89-75. They covered 6.5. They also beat Richmond 78-67 on the road as a 7.5-point favorite. So they've continued to get it done. They are 1-2 against the spread as an underdog this season. They have not pulled off an upset at all in those 3 games. They were 0-3 overall here, but man, I got to think VCU can hang here and make this a great game. This is the game of the year. They're not going to lose this one by double digits to St. Louis here right now. Look, St. Louis has been a good cover, 14-9 as a favorite, 11-5 against the spread at home. So this one's going to be much tighter than this. I got to go with VCU here in this one. Okay, Cal Dogs on St. Louis. Timmy Two Shoes is on St. Louis. Next up, Siena and Merrimack. Got a good one here in the MAAC. 2 of the top 3 teams in conference play here right now in a big game. Of course, Merrimack is 14-2 in first place in the MAAC. Siena is 11-5. They are 3 games back here. St. Peter's is in second at 12-4. There are only 4 games left in the season in the MAAC, so Siena is going to need to win this one for sure to have a chance at winning, or maybe getting up there for a share of the title. But Merrimack comes in here pretty hot right now. They're on a pretty solid winning streak here for sure. They're 18-9 overall, having won 6 in a row, covering them all. They're also 7-0 against the spread at home. In their last 7 games, they're 8-1 against the spread at home this season, 9-2 against the spread as a favorite. But Siena is 3-1 against the spread as an underdog this season, 10-5 against the spread on the road. Siena's won 7 of its last 9 and gone 6-1 straight up in their last 7 on the road. Merrimack's gone under in 6 of their last 8. They're 9-18 to the under this season. This one's moved higher, but these two teams are combined 19-35 to the under this season. Merrimack's 3-8 to the under as a favorite. I got to go with the under here in this one, despite the fact that we've seen this one move higher here. Let me see what I have 134 there on the screen, and okay. It's 132.5. Okay, I got you, everybody. It's 132.5. Okay. That's fine. I thought there might have been something a little off there, but I will take the under here in this one. Even at 132.5, I got to go under in this one with Siena and Merrimack here on Friday night. All right, here we go. Merrimack for Mr. Weskers. And Cal Dog likes Merrimack as well to keep it rolling here. Merrimack's been terrific. They've been a great cover as well. And Siena, like I said, Siena 1-3 straight up as an underdog. 3-1 though against the spread. So it's going to be a pretty good game still. But Merrimack could get one step closer to wrapping up the regular season conference title. All right, let's keep it going here. Just a couple of games left here on Night Moves. We got Indiana taking on Purdue. Well, hey, we've got a rivalry game, of course, here with 7th-ranked Purdue coming in off of a loss, remember, last time out to Michigan, 91-80 at home. They were a dog in that one, but Michigan pasted them. Hey, we had the Wolverines, didn't we, on that night? Purdue 5-11 against the spread at home, 3-7 against the spread in their last 10. Overall, Indiana's not a great cover. They're actually kind of weak as a road favorite. Indiana's lost 13 of the last 18 games against Purdue, but they've covered 7 of the last 9, just like you might expect maybe in a rivalry game. They did meet for their first game about 3 weeks ago. It was 72-67. Of course, IU got that win as a 4.5-point dog at home in the game. It was actually the second straight win over Purdue. So it might be a time for a little revenge. Purdue's won 9 of the last 10 meetings between the two teams at home. Usually Purdue wins, but Indiana covers. Indiana's gone under in 7 of its last 10 overall. Purdue's failed to cover now in 6 straight games at home. On the road, they seem to cover no matter what, but here they've lost a similar game. They played Oregon, favored by 18.5, won by just 4. So maybe it's just going to be too many points in this one. I'm going to take the Indiana Hoosiers to cover the spread here against Purdue once again and hang in there. Purdue can't cover anything at home here of late. Indiana for Mr. Weskers. All right, that might be it. I'll give you one more second here in the chat. I might be going a little bit fast anyway, but Indiana is 3-7 to the under. What did I say there? Yeah, 7 of their last 10 under, also 2-5 to the under as an underdog. Purdue is 9-12 to the under as a favorite, but I don't know. 148, shouldn't it be? It is 148. Man, I think it might be an over here. Let's see here. Cal Dogs on Indiana. Purdue easy. Hello to Dimitri Mamo joining us in the chat here. And Timmy says Saturday, what a great card in college basketball. But no matter how you look at it, there's only one team with that 0 on the end of their record here right now in the whole country. Out of all 365 teams, only one team has that 0 at the end of their record right now, and that's the Miami of Ohio Redhawks. 26-0 here currently coming in. It's funny you think about where the Redhawks currently stand here in the polls at ranked number 22 in the country. in KenPom, Miami is 87th. Just to show you, they're. I think they would make an exception for Miami of Ohio if they lost in their conference tournament, as long as they only lose the one game. But if you go by the numbers, if you go by some of the bracketology, Miami's not accomplishing anything by running through this board here this year. Still, it's a great story. 26-0. Bowling Green comes in 16-11. The other thing about Miami of Ohio, that they're not clear of Akron yet. Miami of Ohio leading Akron by just one game coming in now. The two teams have already played in their one meeting this season, so they will not meet here. Bowling Green is 7-7 in conference play, and look, Bowling Green's going to have, I believe, the best player on the court in Javante Campbell. But Miami of Ohio has been a great team here this season, not only straight up, but of course against the spread, 13-6 as a favorite. ATS 8-4 ATS at home. Bowling Green is 7-4 against the spread on the road, 3-3 against the spread as an underdog this season. Spread is 8 here. We know that Miami of Ohio, despite all these wins and yes, some covers, some of the games have been a little bit nip and tuck here this season. When the two teams met last year, Miami of Ohio won it 93-83 as a 6-point dog on the road. Miami of Ohio comes in 4-1 ATS in their last 5. They've gone under in 5 straight. Bowling Green's gone under in 6 straight. Also, 8 of the last 10 meetings between the two teams have gone over here. So let's see what you have in this one. Our final game of the night. Miami of Ohio has gone 10-2 to the over at home, but Bowling Green's gone 3-8 to the under on the road. What you gonna do? Let's go to the chat and see what you got here in this one. And, hey, I want to say hello to Real Madrid Doge in the chat. Always great to see Real Madrid Joe. Sorry I missed that chat there with Real Madrid Doge. He was talking about the Hoosiers and Purdue. Says Purdue lets them down a little bit. And let's see, Mr. Weskers, he's going to take Bowling Green. And Timmy Two Shoes likes Miami of Ohio here. All right. I got to take I got to take Bowling Green here in this one as well. Just a little bit too many points for me. Bowling Green's been terrific. I'm going to take the dog here. And that's going to do it for Night Moves. All right. Hey, it's going to be a great Friday. It's going to start off with, we've got daytime sports, right? We've got the hockey games going on. We've got Major League Baseball exhibition games starting here tomorrow. Yankees in Baltimore minus $1.35. Kansas City in Texas minus $1.25. White Sox and Cubs minus $1.35. Arizona at Colorado. Arizona $1.45. San Diego at Seattle. I say at, those guys share the same complex. Versus Seattle $1.25. Just going over the lines here. Just great to see some exhibition baseball underway in the season. Ready to go here soon, although the weather might be coming in a little bit in Arizona. All right, it's going to do it here for night. Remember to go over to Tony'sPicks.com. I had a pretty big day, so you want to get hooked up with me over at Tony's Picks. I had a 7-1 day here, and I'm going to roll here with some tennis overnight too, where I've been really hot. If you take a look at some of the sports here right now, tennis, my record here over the last month here. I'm up 10 units here in tennis, 16-6 record overall. Over the last month over at Tony's Picks, and also soccer record here, getting some things done as well. So join me over at Tony'sPicks.com. Use that promo code TonyT at checkout to save 15% off those premium pick packages, including mine here on Friday. Thanks a lot to everyone in the chat. and all the comments and picks from you guys. Really appreciate it. And we're going to be back again tomorrow and preview some of that great college basketball action on Saturday. Talk a little UFC, talk a little NBA, talk maybe Olympics final maybe there on Sunday. We'll see if Canada and US can keep it going here and keep it on track for a big time final. Hey, it's no world final without Russia. Oh, did I say that? All right. That's going to do it for me here on Night Moves and for the Tony's Picks YouTube channel, the 50,000 subscriber juggernaut. Thanks for joining us. We'll be back tomorrow with more Night Moves.